All right, well, I will call this meeting of the Westborough Public Library Building Committee to order on Tuesday, January 20th at 3:30 p.m. Let me just quickly do the monthly announcement, which is pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023. This meeting will be conducted via remote means. Members of the public who wish to access the meeting may do so in the following manner. Join us on Zoom. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. If we're unable to do so for reasons of economic hardship and despite best efforts, we will post an audio or video recording on the playlist on YouTube for the Library Building Committee as soon as possible after the meeting. So we will start off with public forum. Do we have any members of the public who wish to join or who wish to address the committee?
I don't think so.
Okay. That's okay. So we'll move on to approval of minutes. Mary sent out minutes just earlier today, I believe. I saw them. Did everyone get a chance to review minutes?
Move to accept both meeting minutes.
I sent her the note, so I would say as amended, but the votes on the adjournment and the adjournment time were missing.
It should be it. I updated it last night.
Okay.
Right? Not yours.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So as amended.
Excellent. Thank you. Can I have a second?
I'll second it then. Leslie.
Okay. Then I will go across my screen. So Walter.
Leslie, yes.
Bill.
Lane, yes.
Lynn.
Stuck, yes.
Mary.
Johnson, yes.
Al.
Gordon, yes.
Kate.
Caraccio, yes.
Bob.
Petroselli, yes.
And I am a yes. So minutes are approved. Thank you. Next up on our agenda is discussion of the repair project. So I will turn that over to Steve, Brian, and Mike.
Thank you. So for invoices recommended for payment for December of 2025, we have our three invoices, ours, Vertex, LPAs, and then Seaver Construction for a total of $454,638.50. So that's the only invoices for the month of December.
Is there any discussion or questions about the invoices? If not, I will take a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
And thank you. Once again, I will go across my screen. Hold on. I was way over to the right. So, Bill?
Lane, yes. Is that? I'm sorry, couldn't hear.
Yep. There we go. Al?
Gordon, yes.
Kate?
Caraccio, yes.
Mary?
Johnson, yes.
Bob?
Petroselli, yes.
And Walter?
Leslie, yes.
And I am a yes. So
And Stuck, yes.
invoices are approved. Oh, sorry, Lynn.
That's okay.
Sorry, I missed you. Thank you. So invoices are approved.
Thank you. Just go over a brief snapshot from our December vendor invoice package, which was sent out last week to the committee. Just to highlight that to date, at the end of December, we have roughly spent 4.2 million with 6.7 remaining to spend. Is there any questions from the dashboard or the monthly report that was sent out or the VIP package before we move on?
I just want to say I appreciate you getting them to us before the weekend this week, month. Helps a lot.
No problem. The goal.
Mike or Steve, I just wanted to ask if the LPA amendments have been sent to Tina in procurement.
I have to check. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Moving on to change order review status. So this is as of the end of last week. This is from our PCO log, which can be found at the bottom of the vendor invoice package, usually the last page. But this is from January 16th. So approved to date, we have $88,902 approved in change orders. So remaining contingencies 866.9 thousand. Total estimated, submitted, and pending. So everything that we perceive to be coming down the track is roughly $563,000. So if everything in those items was approved, we'd have $303,000, 816 left in the contingency. Or put it another way, it would be 56% used if we approved everything that's in the change order log right now. On any questions on that before I move on? Or if that was unclear. Okay, hearing none. So also sent out, we have our draft change order number 3 for approval of the committee today. It includes these 4 change orders. PCO number 2, which we presented before, which was the demolition of the built-in bookcases that were around the front rooms of the library. The main electrical breaker investigation and temp power workaround, which was generated from the main breaker not being able to be shut down properly or safely. So we had to figure out a temp solution around that. Electrical scope changes that have been generated throughout the project. And then the main breaker enclosure, so that's the replacement of the old breaker that was not functioning properly. So total change order value of $73,638.35.
I just want to add a little bit of color to a couple of these, Mike, after your good explanation there. So number 2, we probably fondly remember that's the one of our earliest ones we had. We had the CCD issued. The CCD number of hours listed on the CCD was 72 hours, and then tracking the time and materials time that it took to do the work came in at 26 hours. The not to exceed amount on that CCD was $7,700, and that came in at the 2836 number. We talked about that so much early on. It was one of the first ones we had, so I just wanted to provide the kind of the final numbers and how that came in. Number 8, and as you can see with the revisions, these either they have a CCD or a revision, so were worked pretty well here to finally get them so that they're ready to bring on to you folks to request final acceptance, or acceptance, not final acceptance. Number 8 and 16, those are both related to that main breaker issue. The first, as you can see, was the investigation and then the installation of a temp power so that we could kill that main breaker And the issue with that main breaker was that the breaker, which you probably remember, just in turning off that main switch, like we all have in our homes and everywhere else, it didn't kill the power to the building. That's what the problem was. And that was not, that was expected to remain, existing to remain, that main panel and breaker. So that's why that had to be replaced, because that breaker wasn't killing the power to the building. So as you can see, it adds up to be a lot of money. The investigation, the temp service, and then the actual replacement with 16 illustrates there. So it adds up to a lot of money, and that's what was needed. You can't have a main breaker that doesn't work for all safety reasons, et cetera. So that's just some background on that. Number 13 had to do with finding circuits, responding to a request for information from the electrical contractor and RFI, and the circuits were found to not be grounded or have a ground wire as part of the wiring when that was done. So that's what a lot of this work is to provide grounding for many circuits throughout the building, the circuits that were to remain, to fix that and provide a grounded circuit. So to give you some, again, just some more detail on those. So good. Back to you, Mike.
I see Walter, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, on number 16, the electrical
Mhm.
breaker,
Mhm.
I presume this is a change of the box as well as just the a circuit breaker.
Yeah, it's
Mike,
a
Like that
replacement of
phrase.
it's a replacement of the whole panel.
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah.
That
An
makes more
enclosure.
sense.
Mhm.
Very good. That's pretty scary that it wouldn't turn the power off.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Steve, just a comment on the 16. We've requested you people to track the manufacturing of that because it's very critical. So I'd like to just make the rest of the panel aware that that is a critical item, the manufacturing of it.
Yeah. Thank you, Bill, for pointing that out. Yeah, the old system, and that's the, I guess the good news is now this equipment's brand new. You know, the main service as it enters the building for that breaker. So at least that is all brand new. You know, in terms of with this replacement of it. So yes, and the equipment tracking and delivery is definitely a critical part that we're keeping an eye on.
Any further questions on change order number 3?
You're looking for a motion to accept?
Yes.
So move.
Can we have a second?
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you. So I will go across my screen. Bill,
Lene, yes.
Lynn,
Stukup, yes.
Kate,
Coraggio, yes.
Bob,
Petroselli, yes.
Al,
Gordon, yes.
Walter,
Leslie, yes.
Mary,
Johnston, yes.
Sean,
EO, yes.
Pete.
I'll abstain. I didn't hear the discussion.
Okay, thank you. And Walter?
I already said yes, but I'll say yes again.
Sorry.
If I get 2 votes, can I have Pete's vote?
Keep like toppling around to my screen here. And I am a yes. So that change order is approved.
Thank you.
So this is another discussion we'll have here to give you an update on this chiller piping. And it's not, well, I guess it's PG-13 maybe here, the pipe photos. We talked about this very much as an introduction last meeting. As you can see on the right in that elbow looking pipe, the wall thickness of the pipe is really in good shape. The challenge with this, and we're doing a few things on this, the challenge is, oh, excellent, Mike, with more, as you do, more good photos here, is connecting to this pipe. There are 2 different types, as you can see in the lower left. There's a threaded connection. So if we were actually going to thread this pipe, and also a welded connection. So two ways to connect to this piping. So the mains, if you will, like in that first picture, those were to remain in place. And we've gone full circle on this. I was optimistic in seeing the wall thickness of the pipe that we should be fine. The degradation is minimal, as you can see with a photo like that. Um, the engineering team has reached a position with no lack of effort and research on site that they can't to connect to this and have it be a guaranteed and leak-proof thing forever. That's the issue, not so much the wall thickness issue, that the thickness isn't going to rust to nothing. So we're doing a couple things. One, this coming Monday, we requested to have, and the LPA team found a testing company to test this piping throughout just to verify, well, we see it looks great here. We don't know what it looks like everywhere. And this is going to be a big cost, to be clear, to replace this piping. And that's where we are, is the need to replace this piping. So we've got a couple things that we're working on. One is to get order magnitude pricing to replace the piping. Order magnitude from the mechanical contractor is about $300,000. We're looking at that for, yeah, it's big dollars. We're looking at that from a strategy of a lump sum basis versus a time and materials basis. A little foreshadowing from before. That's why I went into the detail about reminding everybody about the time materials approach that we took on that and how that worked out. We're not recommending anything yet because we're not quite ready to on the replacement part. But we want to present to you tonight for your consideration a request to issue a CCD to do the demolition of this piping. We had a meeting on site last week with the contract with the Seaver, the general contractor, and Performance, who's the HVAC contractor, and the design team and the OPM, just to talk through this issue. Performance said that they will have a much better understanding of the time and effort to put in the new piping after this piping is demolished. So what we'd like to do is to present a CCD. The not to exceed amount, which we can get to in a second, but the not to exceed amount is $50,000, and we'll track that. It's critical that we start something here because we're concerned and have been presented that we're just evaluating, presented yesterday, to be clear, time delays in the project, and we're evaluating that, and we've got all kinds of effort that will go into studying that to see what that's actually going to end up as. So we're nowhere near ready to present that to you yet, but we do want to present to you just to get started to take this pipe out. And then and we may, after the demo is done, request a meeting before the next committee meeting to, if we have information that's ready, to have an authorization prior to the next meeting a month from now, hoping that we do, meaning that hopefully we have good information. And if we do, and it's ready to review with you guys, send it out in advance, all the things that we typically do. And this was, as I said, last minute. So that's why we're scurrying a bit here, but we didn't want to miss this opportunity, then call for another meeting, in a few days. That didn't seem to be the right thing to do. So that's what we'd like to do. If, Mike, do you have the CCD? Can you put that up? And the team's been working on this most of the day to figure out how best to proceed. So and to capture the demolition number, that $300,000 figure that Performance provided, not Seaver, but Performance provided for their costs to do the full work, the demo and replace, was $300,000, I said a moment ago. Today, and this is in between our meeting that ended at 2:15, and now we received a quote for the demo portion only of, I think it's 92,000. We think that's way too much. So what we'd like to do, and that's of the 300, it just seems that the demo is going to be nowhere near that much of the 300 total. We'd like to request a $50,000 CCD, and the second page of this is their actual quote where it says what I just mentioned. What we'll do is we'll track on a daily basis the time it takes to get the work done. I think they're going to have four people working on this each day, and we'll map out how many days that will be before you get to 50,000. And it just doesn't make sense. It will be that as high as the 90. So when we get to that, if we get to that on the demo part, we'll come back to you and ask for further authorization, hoping that we don't have to do that at all. But we think that's a more responsible approach than asking for 90 because they put that on the paper between, 215 and 325. So Seaver doesn't know that that's our strategy, but that's what we're doing. This is a directive, and they will proceed and they will go forward, and they just will say, look, when we spend the 50, we don't have further authorization to continue, which we know as we approach that, if we do, we'll come back and seek further authorization that makes sense at that time. So that's our recommendation, to be extremely careful with this money. That's what we believe is the best first step here. And even the committee members that attend our meeting every week, they haven't heard the update with that 90 and the 50 yet because it's since our meeting ended this afternoon. So I guess I know the process is to have a motion and then have conversation, but that's my recommendation and request. We did review this LPA, and Vertex did review this in this hour and a half span, and believe and recommend that this is the right way to proceed with this step. So if there's a motion that can then elicit and have an opportunity for conversation, that would be our recommendation and request as well.
Walter's got a question.
If you want me to go ahead of the motion, I'm okay. I have a couple of questions.
Why don't I take a motion and a second, and then we'll go ahead and do our questions and discussion.
I think this is a good approach based on having attended the meetings and today's meeting, including today's meeting. So I recommend approval of this.
So, Bill, would you like to make a motion to approve?
A motion to approve, yes.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. And Walter, why don't you start with questions?
Oh, okay, good. I wanted to clear my understanding that what these chiller pipes carry is cold water for air conditioning, or is that a misnomer and it also carries hot water for heat, or what goes in the chiller pipes?
Speak to that, Michael? Mike Williams?
I can, yes. So your understanding is correct, Walter. It is only the chilled water for air conditioning. The hot water system runs through its own piping, and being chilled water is what actually has contributed to the deterioration.
Condensation.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. There was a fabric wrapped in there that saturated with the condensation and just held that moisture against the surface of the pipe, causing the problem.
So a replacement would not have that?
It would not, because it wouldn't, well, two things. One, it would not have that fabric to hold the condensation. And two, it has better vapor barrier wrapping to it, so that it would keep that moisture from reaching the surface of the pipe.
Okay, and when somebody said that the engineering department has concluded it has to be replaced, which engineering department is that? I kind of lost track because I'm just hearing voices, but
That is LPA's consulting engineer.
got it.
Any other questions?
I'm sorry if I could just add on to that, Maureen.
Yeah.
We've also, Steve had mentioned we have an additional consultant that we're bringing up for some testing. We did do a preliminary meeting out there with them as well, and they raised some concerns with keeping that piping that also guided us in making that determination. So it is some multiple people's perspectives and analysis that is helping us making this recommendation to you.
Thank you. Go ahead, Pete.
Yeah, I have comments about the overall topic, not specifically the CCD, which seems like it needs to go forward. Um, in your comments, Mike, you said it was chilled water, and I frankly am a little confused as to where the heat pump fits and the chiller replacement and stuff. Is there separate refrigerant circulation going through the building as well as this chilled water, or can you explain that? That's one question. The second thing is, it's clearly old, kind of classic technology of steel pipes and so forth. Are there, for the rebuild, is there new technology that's, PVC or plastic and more durable and so forth? Is there something else that could be put in place of the steel pipe?
So to answer your first question, Pete, we have two parallel systems. So the outside heat pump slash chiller is reuses what was planned on reusing this piping to feed multiple units throughout the building. In addition to that, there are split systems that will use just refrigerant piping. Some like in the IDF closet where we just need a cassette type unit, wall mounted unit just to address that space on its own where there's higher heat loads. And there's a couple of other areas as well that will rely on refrigerant. But the chiller and the chilled water piping is separate from that refrigerant system. And that goes throughout the building. To your second question, other pipe material alternatives, I would have to ask Siemens Engineering. But right now the plan is, so right now the way it existed, it's all black pipe, steel pipe. What is being proposed to be used is steel, but supplement that with copper where we can, where the pipe diameter makes sense to. When you get to a certain size, copper just becomes too expensive and you lose some cost efficiency. But the plan is to use copper where we can, save a little bit on the connection labor, and then the mains and some of the larger branch lines would still be the steel black iron pipe.
Okay.
Any other questions? If not, I think we're ready to vote. We have a motion and a second. So I will go across my screen. Walter?
Leslie, yes.
Bill?
Lenane, yes.
Sean?
EO, yes.
Mary?
Johnson, yes.
Pete?
Stenbeck, yes.
Lynn?
Sukup, yes.
Kate?
Caraccio, yes.
Al?
Gordon, yes.
And Bob?
Petroselli, yes.
And I am a yes. So that motion is approved.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing that up, Mike. I know it's tricky to be nimble on site like that, so thank you.
No problem. Construction progress update.
Yes, the front fireplace and surround on it. We've that has been refinished now, recoated, and in my mind, it looks beautiful and about 100% improvement over where it was. Our painter has been in doing a lot of refinishing of the wood surfaces in the in the older section of the building, primarily on the second floor and also on the third floor, doing some of the I think, Mike, you might have some pictures in here of some of the windows and other woodwork in that section of the building, but it's coming along very nicely. This is down in the basement with the children's area. There's, we also use that as a good dry, tight storage area for materials as they come into the building before they go up into the ceiling. But as I've said before, so much of the work that we do on a project like this is all into the ceilings and into the walls that you'll never see after the project is completed. But there is a tremendous amount of work that goes up there, and cleaning and all of that to bring the project to completion. The main area, you'll see the purple, it's a fire rated drywall. Behind that is a chase for both electrical conduits and piping. Some of the hot water piping that we've been talking about today, as a matter of fact, goes up in that corner, just as a reference point. One of the storage spaces within the building, you can see where we've put up a little bit of drywall. Once again, it's a fire rated drywall that's being installed here to make things nice and tight.
That's the extent of our presentation. Any further additional questions? Thank you.
That's the extent of our presentation, Maureen. Or if you have any other items or adjourn, whatever you may
Thank you.
have.
Bye.
Yeah.
Just one comment, Maureen. I think you all saw my epistle I sent, but I wanted to share that and the fact that we do have a good team all the way from Kate and Lynn through to Vertex. And the committee is staying on top of things on a weekly basis. And they, as you can tell even by today's meeting, but the last meeting that we had, they are being very open, but sometimes communicating things that are of concern, but at least they share with us so that we can be aware, and they are studying and keeping us on track. So thank you.
And thank you to you and Bill or you and Bob for being able to attend those meetings, because those of us who can't be there, those comments really, really help a lot. And all of the reporting. I appreciate getting those weekly updates that I think Steve has been sending. Super helpful with the pictures, just to be able to keep up on what's going on when we can't be there to see it ourselves. So thank you all. This is so much work going into this, and much appreciated.
I'm sure Mike is orchestrating getting those things distributed.
Oh, thank you, Mike. Next up on our agenda is other building related issues, including a review of the invoice procedures. So I think that's Lynn or Kate.
Yeah, I can talk to that. I just wanted to present that to the committee so that they had an idea of how the bills get paid. And it was also for our finance department, which has had a lot of turnover in the last year, in order for them to understand how we work here at the library, which is somewhat different than other town departments, where our invoices and our spending is approved by the Library Board of Trustees. And for purposes of the repair project, we have given authority to Maureen as the chair of the LBC, permission to sign off on the invoices and expenses that we've approved at committee. And then I process them here. They're sent over to finance to be paid. And this document, all it does is just spell that out, so that things are presented timely for payment, and it's all done orderly. If anybody has any questions, you can let me know, but.
And just for some background, we've had just some issues getting a few things paid, or we'll find out, a few months later that something wasn't paid. And so we were trying to really get a process that is outlined by town hall that works for us, where we have all the appropriate signatures. And should we ever need a signatory besides Maureen, that is also something that we have to vote on at these meetings before that happens. So that's something to keep in your back pocket.
Any questions on invoice payment?
When you say someone else, should we establish that now?
I was told that it has to be on a case by
Case by case. Okay.
So normally we call
And wouldn't
them
that be
pink,
up to the trustees anyway?
well, when the pink slips come in from the library, usually I'm the one who signs off on all of them. But a new process to us is that they're wanting Maureen to sign off with the ones for this project. And so I think if that were to change, that would just be probably a vote that they also want us to reference the vote when it happens on those slips, so that they know that this group has voted on approval of those packets. So we have been including the timestamp of the video, because we know that our minutes don't get voted on until the next meeting, and we need those invoices paid. So far that has been working.
Okay, so we have to be aware, though, if Maureen has to miss a meeting that month, we have to say, Kate can sign or vote for that.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Kind of thing. Okay.
So question for Walter or Sean. Is this requirement of a time-stamped vote something that, say, like a school building committee would be required to do, or
I think merely the meeting, just the meeting that you voted it at would be sufficient. I don't think you need to. I don't think it's a challenge thing. I think it's like you said, it was approved at our January 20th meeting would, in my opinion, would be sufficient. But
I think that, I don't know, it when I read it, it seemed like an extra layer of detail maybe, or requirement that seemed unusual. Just wanted your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I'm not certain. If the timestamp just lets them go to the meeting itself and more easily find the vote, not certain.
But do you think is it their job to actually
I mean, that was my
verify
question too,
that?
like,
That seems kind of strange to me, but I think a notification that it was voted. I mean, just like minutes are approved, we note that in our minutes that they were approved that date.
Hey.
But certainly, I mean, I don't know, but that seems like it wouldn't be necessary. That it would be the date of the meeting, and if somebody really needed to know in the minutes, we could show them draft minutes or something, or
we can ask.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can ask.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, it's worth talking, but it's established in But I think we're making progress on the rest of the project. I recommend we move on and stay with it. So.
Are there any other building related issues for us while we're all here together?
It just it sounded like maybe we want to pencil in a meeting in 2 weeks or something, or did you guys have an idea? Because you talked about maybe needing another meeting. We could
Yeah,
always not have, but
I don't know exactly when we'll be ready.
okay.
That's the truth. I'd rather, I mean, I get it. You put something on the calendar, then it, it's available. I hesitate to do that. Maybe if, maybe Friday, we're gonna have another meeting Friday on this on site to review schedule and such. And maybe after that, we'll have a better sense for that and I can reach out through the proper channels and request that. Maybe that's the best way to do it.
As long as we have
Okay.
the 2 days to post, we're good.
Well, it'll be in advance. Yes,
Okay.
appreciating that much. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. The only I had two other things I wanted to mention. Thank you to the building committee members who attended the legislative breakfast. It was great to see you all there. And it was an excellent turnout. Kate and Lynn did an amazing job hosting. And our entire Westborough delegation was there, meaning our 2 state reps and our state senator. So it was really great. And I just wanted to also put in a plug for the upcoming mini golf event at the temp site coming up. The adults only 21 plus with beverages and yummy food and live music the evening of January 30th. So information on the library website. Please come play mini golf. I know Walter and Leslie will be there. I'm coming. I think hope to see lots of you there. It should be a really fun time, and it's a great fundraiser for the foundation. So lots
The
of fun.
only chance, hopefully, to play on this course.
That's right.
Because next year we'll be back in a new course.
Yeah.
So no down the stairwell this year, I guess, right?
I was about to say that. But I bet they'll do something really great, really creative, because they have all that space to be able to do it. So it should be great. Any last issues before we adjourn?
I recommend as many as possible go to the mini golf. I think another important piece is you meet people from across the community in a setting that you do not meet them otherwise. Often we challenge selectmen there.
Now you're
not only
discouraging Sean.
Not only Sean, but Walter's committee, they get to know people in the community and get asked. I think it's just a great place to meet people that you don't meet across the community and to support our library project at the same time.
Agreed, 100%. All right. Our next official meeting will be Tuesday, February 17th. But as we said, there will probably be a meeting in between now and then. And something will come to you shortly regarding that meeting. If there is nothing else for the committee, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
And a second. Thank you. So Walter?
Leslie, yes.
Bill?
Lenine, yes.
Lynn?
Duke, yes.
Mary?
Allison, yes.
Kate?
Caraccio, yes.
Pete?
Dunback, yes.
Sean?
EO, yes.
Al?
Gordon, yes.
And Bob?
Petroselli, yes.
And I'm a yes. So we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.